Yo, what is going on, 5-9 Gaming? It's your boy Swift. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff for Dragon Ball Legends. And we are back for a quick discussion video. I'm joined by my homie Azdeek and ZVG. Say what's up.
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, boys? What's good?
For this video, we're going to be talking about 17 and 18. I think 17 and 18 have kind of been just completely dominating PvP over the past couple months. They've just been such a good unit. They, clearly top of the tier list. If you look at the Game Press tier list, they are the only unit in God tier right now. And I just think they are the king of legends. And I'll quickly pass it to ZVG here in a second, but the premise of this discussion is we're going to discuss, how good 17 and 18 are, and, I believe this is the last season they will be receiving the boost. So we're going to maybe speculate a little bit, how good they will be after the boost system. Now, I'm going to pass it to ZVG because I know he just has more experience with 17 and 18 than I do. So if you could, talk to the audience how good they are right now and, maybe what your thoughts are, where they're going to be after the boost system.
All right, so how good they are a cancer to the game. I do agree with Zafir. Zafir, if you guys don't know who Zafir is, he's basically a player who's gotten rank 1 a lot of times this year. He said that on his Twitter. He said that the droids are like FSK in his prime, to the point where, like, if you're not running the androids, you're at a disadvantage if you go up against them. And I do agree. I feel like the only unit that scares me in ranked right now is the androids, like, because I know, like, oh shit, I have to play smart, because if I don't, I'm getting rushed immediately because they don't care about endurance, and if I let them swap too many times, I won't have my rush. And if I get caught with a green card, it's basically GG's, because I can't stop their combo. I can't do anything but take the damage, right? And they can swap. If I do swap out to somebody that has type advantage, they can just whoop, swap to 18 and just murder my blue, my trunks, my VB, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I feel like their kit just has so many things in it that makes it, insane. The stacking of damage, the support by tapping, tackling, tap shots, touch strikes, combos, any attack gives 25% more damage, right? They stack damage, they heal, 17 heals, 18's green card removes vanish one time, 17's green card reaches card draw speed. It's a projectile, so it's insane in neutral. If they do a blast card, they do a strike card into a side step, they're gonna get caught. It's just everything. Cover notification, time neutral, endurance notification, Dragon Ball manipulation with the ability to remove a Dragon Ball up to 3 times if you keep swapping out. Their combo extension, they have card draw speed, as well as they gain a card for the first card they use when they swap. It's just a totality of things that make them the best unit in the game, as regarded by a lot of people, a lot of top ranked players. They do agree that, okay, the androids are definitely in ranked the best unit in the game. I've used them extensively. I've gotten rank 1 with them. I've gotten top 100 every season with them. They make the game easy mode. I will say that they make the game easy mode. At some points, I do feel bad. Like, I did feel bad for some people. Like, when my droids get them in a combo, I swap to 18, I have a green card, I'm gonna guarantee a combo drop into killing them, because my damage will be so high. I reset the combo, they're just gonna be dead and they can't do anything. It's just they're definitely toxic for the game, and they're definitely the best unit in the game right now. I feel like, as well as their team does complement them quite well, because they have Cell, who is a top 5 unit. They have Future Go-On for the support and disruption. They have Trunks, a very good blue unit to counter MEY. They have VB, who can also counter MEY, as well as do insane damage with his ultimate. So their team is just cracked out. They're cracked out, and they just cause havoc in ranked. That's pretty much the synopsis of the androids.
Yeah, I agree. They completely dominate. Now, before we talk about the boost, I wanted to ask, so ZVG, how many stars is your 17-18?
11 stars.
Okay, so, and then Azdeek, how many stars is yours?
6.
Okay, so I wanted to, before we talk about maybe like speculating where they will be after they leave the boost system, I wanted to ask Azdeek, at 6 stars, do you still, find yourself just completely dominating with them?
100%.
Or do you sometimes wish that you had them higher stars?
I honestly, I still find myself wishing that I had him at higher stars, and I actually could, right? If I really, really wanted to, because I'm a hoarder, right? I like to hoard like my items, my currency, and stuff like that. For the most part, that is. I have, I think, 600 multi-Z power right now that I could get, that I have just on me. I have 600 multi-Z power in the from the missions that you bought, right? From the special tab. I have them just hoarded in there that I haven't claimed yet, and then I also have another 600 multi-Z LF multi-Z power from the raid shop that I haven't yet claimed.
Damn.
So I have 3 of those that I could potentially just put into the androids, and that's what I'm really considering, right? Because I have all 3 of those saved up because I just want to pull 1 copy of the LF that comes for part 2, and I was just planning on just putting those multi-Z powers, LF Z powers into that unit. But at this point in time, I almost do feel like just tossing all that into my droids at this point. Not because I think they need the help, but just because I know they're going to be even more impressive. Dude, if I had them at 3 stars, I would still be running them, right? It's crazy to me because I've tested them on like so many teams. Like I don't have Whis, right? I don't have Whis. I remember one time I walked into ZVG's chat and I was like, what's the hand-me-down version of Zephyrs team that I could use, right? Which is the
Yajirobe,
MUI Goku, yeah, and then the droids. And then ZVG was like, just you run Yajirobe. And so that's I actually ran that team. I made a YouTube video on that team, and I loved that team so much because it worked. It was literally the hand-me-down version of the Wii setup, and it was so good because there were so many times where you just pop that green card. I didn't even have to really rely on MUI, right? My MUI is 7 stars, and there's so many times where I knew I had to give up one of my units, and if I couldn't give up the Yajirobe, I would give up the MUI.
Yeah.
Right? Because I knew that my droids could win me the game. There's even times to this day where it's like, all right, well, I can choose 1 unit to live. All right, it'll be like a 1v3 situation, and I'm like, droids needs to be that unit. Droids needs to be that unit in that 1v3, and they would come out like as a winnable game. Like it just
absolutely.
They're so present. It's to the point where, like how ZVG said earlier, that if you don't run the droids against the droids, you are at a disadvantage. And I feel that whenever I'm running a different team without the droids, like I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, for you guys watching, and this, it makes me feel weaker. Like I legitimately feel weaker.
Dead ass, bro. That is so true, dude. Like I love my VB team, bro. But when I queue up into a droids matchup, I'm like, shit, dude. I want the droids back. yeah, for sure. And speaking of stars, that's a very good point. If you check the leaderboard right now, actually, the top 2 guys right now, well, I think the top 3 guys, they're both running the androids at non-red stars. Like that's just a testament to if you can be top 3 in the game with a 6-star droids, bro. That's a testament to how good the droids are, right? And he's running the Whis team.
Yeah,
like with the Whis team, you don't need stars because you're guaranteeing combos. You're guaranteed a better neutral to get those combos. Like you just have a better chance of getting a combo going than your opponent more times than not. It's just insanely busted. I think one guy's running the Wii setup and then another guy's running the droids on LOE. And like as I said before, the droids just run the game right now. Like the top 3 guys are R&D androids. 2 out of them are running, mid to high star droids, while the Fizz running 14 stars, obviously. But it's just the droids run the game.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. This is coming. I don't even have the droids. I just, for whatever reason, I decided not to summon on them. And kind of like we said, even if you have a 3-star 17 and 18, they're still going to be extremely good. So I kind of wish I did summon for them a little bit, but it is what it is. But yeah, I agree. They completely dominate the setup with Whis, all the infinite green cards, and you can either save the green cards for MUI or use them with 17 and 18. You just have multiple different ways of starting combos, multiple different ways of doing damage, and yeah, they're just insanely good, man.
Cancerous, man.
That was the reason I wanted to ask Azdik that, because I thought he had him less stars, but I just wanted to get his opinion on 6 stars compared to 11 or 6 stars compared to 14. Obviously there's a difference there, but yeah, like ZVG said, if you look at the leaderboard, some of the top ranked people right now don't even have red stars, and that just shows how good they are. But yeah, so I believe this will be the last season that they're in the boost system, if I'm not mistaken. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion. I have my own opinion. I'll save mine for last. I'll let you guys go first. Where do you guys think on the tier list? So right now 17 and 18 is in God tier. Number one, do you guys think that they will fall down a little bit or a lot after the boost system, after they leave the featured boost? And if so, where do you think that they will fall to?
I feel like, okay, so at the very least, I could only see them dropping below Ultra Gogeta, honestly. Like, that's the only scenario I see them dropping in. And I feel like another thing too is that the low star droids, like the 3 and 6 star, I feel they're gonna get the biggest hit because I think the boost helps out the lower stars more than the higher stars. So those, it's gonna feel like more of a difference there. But I feel like the biggest thing about the boost is just the tankiness of the unit, because 20% more damage is like negligible. Like, let's be real, like it's not anything too crazy. But the 15% pure defense, now that helps quite a lot. You know, so they will be less tanky for sure, but I feel like the damage is still gonna be insane because one card they already get back that 20% that they lost with the boost, because they get 25% per card they use, right? So it's just the damage is gonna be there, but the defense is definitely gonna take a hit. But I feel like at the very worst, they're gonna be one spot below the best in the game, and that's below Ultra Gogeta. I don't think MEY is gonna be better than them post boost, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I shared the exact same sentiment.
Fair opinion.
I think I would just place them, like, if we're going by game press standards, I think I would just place them. I would probably maybe take them out of God tier, but right at the top of Z tier, like literally at the top, because like how ZVG said, the damage is something that's from the boost system at least, because you have to keep in mind that these guys stack damage consistently, right? They get so many damage inflicted buffs throughout just it's absolutely crazy how ramped up they can get. I don't think the damage is going to be that noticeable when it comes down to the thick of it, but the defense is what I'm more so concerned about. I think that's the only thing that I could see Gogeta actually getting the edge on them, right? Because there's been a lot of times where, for me, having them at 6 stars, and there's been times where I've been locked in with the Ultra Gogeta, and he couldn't kill me with his 5-timer lock-in. He couldn't kill me with his 5-timer lock-in, but it was close.
Right.
Had I not had that extra defenses from the featured boost, maybe it's a different story. Maybe I do die right there, right? And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of, at least from my end of things, especially since I do have them below that red star threshold. I think that's the only thing I'm really worried about, is the lack of defenses once we do come out the boost. But yeah, other than that, they're not going to drop far below, because as it is, a lot of times I play with low stars, right? As it is, I play with low stars. So my motto in PvP is just, I don't get hit. Like, you get hit, you lose sometimes. Now, that's just how it is, especially with like these wonky teams that I like to use. So as long as I'm still getting consistent damage, I think that's all that's really going to matter. And I think we are still going to see that consistent damage even when they do leave the boost system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a good point was brought up about how the boost system really does help like lower star units. Like if you were somebody that summoned for 17 and 18 and you only have them, let's say whatever, 3, 4, 5 stars, whatever. The boost system is helping you out extremely, but when they do leave the boost system, I think those will probably those lower star 17 and 18s will be the ones that take the hardest hit. I definitely agree with that. But in my opinion, I don't think that they will fall off nearly as much as Blue Boys did. We all remember when Blue Boys came out, they dominated PvP. They were, I believe they were the best unit in the game for a while, if I can remember right. And now they are down in, I believe, top of tier 1. So the Blue Boys have fallen off quite a bit, and they obviously rely on multiple Zenkai, getting Zenkai buffers on Mono Purple. But as for 17 and 18, the other dual, the newest dual unit, you can somewhat compare them to Blue Boys just because they have somewhat similar kits. Obviously 17 and 18 are way better. But if you are making that comparison, I'll tell you right now, I don't think 17 and 18 are going to fall off nearly as much as Blue Boys did. You guys brought up a great point about the defenses. I agree with that because, maybe there is units out there that benefit extremely from the offenses of the boost, of the featured boost. But like you guys said, 17 and 18, they basically get inflicted damage buffs just for existing. So I agree. I think the defenses will be where they take the hardest hit. And I actually agree. I do think maybe Ultra Gogeta will take that spot in God tier. Maybe he'll be the only unit in God tier, and then maybe 17 and 18 fall down a little bit. Maybe top of Z tier. Now, do you guys think, real quick, a non-boosted 17 and 18 versus a boosted MUI, which one do you think will take the lead?
17 and 18. Androids.
Okay, so you'd still say 17 and 18. Okay. Yeah. So you guys would put 17. So you guys are predicting maybe after they leave the boost, maybe 17 and 18 go top of Z, and then MUI is maybe like second
Yep.
or
Yeah.
second to Z,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Ultra Gogeta goes up to God tier.
Oh yeah, maybe. Or maybe
Okay.
there's nobody in God tier. Maybe, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, it just depends.
About GV, I feel like they just have more in their kit that would make them last longer because, you know, GV doesn't have support. GV doesn't have covering on both green cards. GV doesn't have you know, rise rush manipulation with the fact that they can remove you know, Dragon Balls. And they don't have
Right.
the ramp up damage along with each other because they both share damage 17 and 18. But Goku and Vegeta have two separate forms of damage, right? So, you know, they just dead assing the devs just sat down and said, how could we make GV better, and put it in the androids. Honestly, that's how I think that they designed them, and I feel like that's gonna help forward with the way how they're gonna age.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. They are literally, they basically have everything. If you compare the kits side by side, and the only reason I make the comparison is just because they're like
Both tag
really
units.
Yeah, they're both tag units, and they both change their element factor at will. So it's easy to make the comparison, but when you do make that comparison, 17 and 18 literally have everything that, basically they have everything Blue Boys has, plus all
more.
the extra things all the extra things you just mentioned. So, like I said, I do think we will notice a difference when they leave the boost system. It's, you know, obviously 15% pure defense. That is, it will be noticeable, but I almost guarantee they will still be a top tier unit. I think this topic was worth talking about because, like I said, when you do make the comparison to Blue Boys, you see how much Blue Boys have fallen off. And I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on, you know, maybe where 17 and 18 is going to fall. So I actually agree what our conclusion here, 17 and 18 will most likely fall down below Ultra Gogeta. Most likely. None of this is obviously confirmed, but most likely fall below Ultra Gogeta. Ultra Gogeta is really showing his value in this meta right now specifically, which is crazy because obviously Ultra Gogeta is not even getting boosted anymore. So it just shows you how good Ultra Gogeta is right now, and especially when 17 and 18 leave the boost system, I think that's really when he's gonna start shining. But yeah, any other thoughts here about 17 and 18?
No.
Didn't deserve it.
Wait, what'd you say?
They didn't deserve to be this
Yeah,
good.
I'm dead, bro.
But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Like I said, I just want to have a quick discussion about 17 and 18 and how good they are, and maybe where they will be at in a month or two. So, with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. If any of you guys have differing opinions, drop them in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. I know I do personally like to go down and read through comments on videos like these, on discussion videos. So drop your comments below, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.
Peace out, boys.